Good morning, Taurus, or should I say good afternoon? I guess it's technically the afternoon now. I am here to do your general tarot reading for September 2020. And got my coffee and I'm ready to go. I guess it's a little late to be drinking coffee and acting like it's the morning, but what can I say? I'm on quarantine time. I was up late last night doing videos and learning how to YouTube. So, having a bit of a late start today. But anyway, I want to thank you for clicking on this video, and it's really lovely to have you here. I'm really excited to do your reading. Today I'm going to be using the Wonderland Tarot by Chris Abbey and Morgana Abbey. Here it is if you would like to see. It's a really awesome deck. I use this deck a lot. You'll be seeing it in most of my readings because it's definitely my favorite. And for clarifying, I will be using my Smith-Waite tarot deck, which is a little bit more of a more classic type of tarot deck. And we will be doing a Celtic Cross spread today. Before I begin, I just want to thank you all for clicking on this video. And I want to say a prayer for everyone that's here today. I pray that you are healthy, that you are happy, that you are safe from harm, and that all your best wishes come true. Without further ado, let's get on with your reading, Taurus. All right. So I'm setting the intention. This is a reading for Taurus for September 2020. What messages do my Taurus friends need to hear for September 2020? Messages for Taurus. Okay, feels good. Bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers. Wow. Okay. It's going to take a minute to take this all in. Taurus, I feel you are quite ambitious this month. You have the Queen of Peppermills showing up in your present position. Now this queen, she's a little cat too, so maybe you have a pet with her. This would typically be your Queen of Wands. And not to diss this deck because I love it. My only complaint though is that the court cards aren't the best looking court cards. It's not like in the Rider-Waite or in the Thoth deck. You know, the Queen of Wands is usually very beautiful, and you're probably very beautiful yourself or very handsome. Either way. But they're based on the kings and queens that you would meet in the Lewis Carroll Alice in Wonderland stories. This queen is very ambitious. She's a very good leader. She's really got her life together. She attracts loyal friends. She might also have a few enemies too, because she tends to be very attractive. So, you know, that comes with the territory. But a lot of people look to this queen for guidance and see her as a natural leader. You know, even if she's not in a boss position, people will tend to kind of copy her and follow her. So I feel like you are being very ambitious right now and really making headway in your career, really doing really well too. But crossing you, you've got the 10 of Peppermills. This is either a challenge or opportunity. And I just feel like you've got a lot on your plate. That's all. Let me show you this card a little closer though. I love this depiction of this card because it's like this dinosaur, or actually I think he's technically a lizard, but he looks like a dinosaur because he seems like larger than life. But the way that he's holding all these peppermills all on his own, and he seems to have this kind of smile about him. Can you see that? It's like he's proud. It's like he's like, look, I got this, you know? I can handle it. Like if anybody can handle it, it's you, you know? People don't tend to look up to and admire people who just come into money. Like, oh, great, you won the lottery. Wow, that's so impressive. Oh, okay, you inherited a bunch of money. Great, you know? That's not impressive. But people who build their own empires and work hard to get to where they want to go, that's admirable, you know. So I get a real sense of pride in doing whatever it is that you're doing, but it just feels like a lot, you know. We are going into September. There's a lot going on in the world. It feels like people are trying to pick up and get going again and kind of get back to normal. But at the same time, it's like there's this pandemic and there's all these worries and the kids are going back to school. And you know what? There's a lot. And you probably have a lot on your plate and a lot to worry about too, like everyone else. But just try and take a deep breath, because I'm 100% certain that you can handle it. Just take everything one step at a time. Be careful, be safe. Trust in your ability to make good decisions that benefit everyone involved, because you can do it, Taurus. Crowning you, you have the Chariot. And maybe that's why I believe in you too. Your strength is you have this incredible ability to push ahead and to do what needs to be done, to keep everything in balance, to run your business or to do your job to the best of your abilities. And you're absolutely dependable. And because you don't shake, you don't get nervous like a lot of people would. You don't, crush under pressure. That's not it. Break under pressure, maybe. It's like people believe in you, and so you're victorious, and a lot of people are looking at you and watching you to see what you're going to do. Like they're looking for a leader. And that's the sense I get here. You're very, very strong right now, and you're setting an example for other people who are not handling life as well. As a past influence, you had the Five of Swords, and in the past, you had the Eight of Hats. Five of Swords, I'm sorry. In this deck, it's actually called the Five of Flamingos, so it's a little bit sillier. Again, another reason why I love this deck, because even the cards that are a little bit bad or whatever, like they're just kind of silly looking. Like this guy has just won a fight, and now he's collecting all the flamingos that were used to fight. And the other characters here, they've kind of accepted the defeat, and they're looking off into the horizon, and they're going, okay, what's next? But this guy, he's just kind of like hanging around, gloating about his wins. So you have to ask yourself, who really won here? I think these people who accepted the defeat and just moved on and said, okay, all right, that's not my battle to win. Like they're actually in a better position because they've moved on from the battle, whereas this guy is kind of still hanging out there and relishing in it. So you have to ask yourself, which one are you? And you may have lost something, or you may have won a battle that was never worth fighting in the first place. Like a purposeless battle. As a past influence, something affected you badly. I mean, it's only a minor arcana stuff, so it's not really that big of a deal, but it gave you a sense of wanting to escape, wanting to run away. You may have even just recently gone on a vacation. It could have been that you had some squabbles at work, and maybe your coworkers are really getting on your nerves and kind of starting stuff for no reason, and you were like, you know what, I'm taking a break. It could be as simple as that. This is the card of running off in the night. Interestingly, this card has shown up in like every reading that I've done in the past 24 hours, and I'm starting to feel like it's more of a universal influence right now than it is, like specific to any one sign. This idea of escapism. As we know, in this pandemic, I don't want to really keep talking about the pandemic, but it's true. It's a fact of life. This is what's happening. People are drinking more. People are smoking more. People are eating more snacks. I certainly have been. And, it's just a way to kind of try and cope with emotions and such. But this is in the past. So maybe you have moved on from that. You may have felt a little bit affected for a bit, but you guys are like a really stable sign. And I think you know when to kind of cut the crap and drop that, right? In the near future, you have the Ace of Oysters coming in, which is like a lucky penny, a new beginning. This feels great, a fresh start. This could have to do with your health. For some reason, that's what that's making me think of. I'm going to clarify this, okay? Let's clarify the Ace of Oysters for my Taurus friends for September 2020, please. Clarifying. Oops. Wow. Okay. Oh, that knocked that card off too. Now we have the moon showing here. We have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, a lot of stuff came up here. I'm going to try and just make some room so you can see all the cards. What else do we have? Oh, wow. Okay, and we have another Ace of Pentacles here. We have the King of Cups. We have the Ten of Swords. Not my favorite card, but there's some kind of ending, and then there's some kind of new beginning. That's amazing, isn't it? Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Oysters. So there's some new beginning. Somebody was holding on to you. This could have been a romantic relationship. Someone was either being cheap with you or just really holding on to your relationship and not wanting to let you go. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could have been a friend as well. Someone who's very much in touch with their emotions. The King of Cups is generally a really positive card, but at the moment, it seems like there's an ending with this guy. This would typically be a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. And there's some kind of ending. There's some kind of falling out. Like maybe they betrayed you, cheated on you, talked behind your back. I want to cover that card. It's not my favorite. I don't like it. There's always a new beginning available after the Ten of Swords. A clarity and a truth. It just seems like something about this King of Cups, this sort of watery person in your life. You got to kind of let them go and just maybe accept your losses, and you've got this new beginning available. It may be that you had to get this person out of the picture so that you could focus on this new beginning. It's almost like they were blocking you somehow. It could have been someone you worked with as well. You know, it could have been an employer or a client or somebody who was taking up all your time and it's kind of preventing you from moving on. But this is something in the near future. So keep an open eye for that. But keep in mind, you know, with the two aces here, that's beautiful. You do have a new beginning available. So I would just focus on that and don't worry about this too much. Just keep your eyes open. And also listen to your gut, because when I pulled these cards up, it knocked this card off, the Lovers, and revealed the Moon. So it could have been a lover who betrayed you, and something will be revealed with the Moon card here. We do have a full moon coming up. I thought it was going to be tonight, but I think it's technically tomorrow, Wednesday, to be September 2nd. Full moon and a beautiful moon. It was almost full last night. It's a beautiful orange moon, so I think that's going to be spectacular. But these full moons tend to have everyone on edge and in their emotions for some reason. And so something may be revealed to you. Listen to your gut, not these... not the words that these smiling people tell you. These are manipulators here. The Carpenter and the Walrus have invited the oysters out for a nighttime walk. And the oysters are like, gee, that sounds great. But they don't realize that the Carpenter and the Walrus are actually deciding whom they're going to eat. So that's not nice. So somebody may have been trying to deceive you, and it feels like it's a lover. So just keep your eyes open and listen to your gut. And you know what? Focus on your work, because that's going really, really positively for you, not any of this other nonsense. Okay. In your attitude position, you have the Hanged Man. Interesting. This is when someone just kind of, I'm not going to say like accepts defeats, but it's sort of like you surrender to the situation. Sometimes you just got to throw your hands up and say, okay, you know what? There's nothing else that I can do here. You know, it's like the more I talk, the more I try to explain, the less you hear, and it's just not working. And sometimes you just have to walk away, and then you work on your next move, you know? And it's kind of like that's what you're doing. You may be secretly working on some new project that nobody knows about, and you're about to unveil it soon, and that's going to be really cool. Surrender is another strategy. It's another strategy to win a war. It never looks that way. It looks like you're accepting loss, but you're not. You're just surrendering so people don't think you're a threat anymore. And you go quiet for a while, and you work on the next thing. Like, this is an interesting image here, because for the Hanged Man in this deck, we have a lobster upside down. And so you'd think, oh, okay, well, that's it for the lobster. But the thing is, like, his claws are out. Usually with the Hangman, we see his hands behind his back. But this one, no, his claws are out here, and they're not tied, you know, in the way that you'd see lobsters in tanks at restaurants. I never eat lobster, by the way, for this reason, because it just grosses me out, the cruelty of it. But, you know, the way they put those elastics around their claws and they keep them in the tank. This one, his hands are free. And we don't really actually know how this is going to go. He may be ready to make a comeback. Like that wrist, of the man who's holding him upside down, it looks pretty small in comparison to the claw that's below it, right? So I feel like you still got some fight in you. Just ready for your next move. But some battles just aren't worth fighting. Excuse me. I'm going to take another sip of coffee here. Okay, in your external environment, we have the death card. And no one's going to die. It's not time to talk about murder. Not at all. We're not doing that. This is just about change. A lot of things are changing around you. I mean, for everyone else too. So it's like no big surprise. You could be moving. You could be moving apartments or houses or even just like redecorating, even just doing some renovation in your house. Like you're just ready for a new environment, right? It could have to do with people in your life as well, like friend groups or lovers. I don't know. Why is it that every reading I do, I end up talking about lovers and making it into some super saucy thing? I don't know, man. I don't know, but I'm going to get a clarifier here. Can we clarify the death card for my Taurus friends for September 2020? Please, clarifying the death card for my Taurus friends for September 2020. Clarify the death card, please. Clarify. Oops. Okay. And then Wheel of Fortune, upright. Well, this is very, very, very positive. So it's also telling me that this is a big change. This is like a life cycle. There's some kind of cycle that's ending so something new can begin. Doesn't this Wheel of Fortune kind of look like the Pentacle that we saw here and the Ace of Pentacles? We already know you got some new beginnings happening. It also kind of reminds me of the moon that keeps showing up here in your reading, and even the sun here. Like it's like the world is turning and you are going into a new cycle, and it's going to be very fortuitous because this is upright. I love the Wheel of Fortune. I love it. It just feels so lucky. Maybe you should go buy a lottery ticket and remember Bunnycat's oracle if you win. Just kidding. Not really kidding. This feels great though. It just feels like, yeah, it may feel overwhelming at times, like everything around you is changing and you're not really sure what's real and what isn't anymore. Like it's like, am I even on solid ground? But the thing is, it's going to pass and you're going to find yourself somewhere new, or just in a new life phase, even if you don't end up moving. And what's going to replace the old phase is going to be even better because you've grown and you've learned and you are solid. My beautiful Taurus, you are on solid ground. Okay. You're driving that chariot. So if it feels like everything else is falling apart and you don't know who you can trust yourself. I know that for sure. All the Taurus people I know are just the most solid people I've ever met, and I consider them to be role models. Every single one of them. I've never met a Taurus who wasn't dependable and solid. I have met a lot of Taurus people who don't seem to like me because I'm a Pisces. I'm more like wishy-washy and I change my mind a lot, and I can understand how that would drive people crazy, especially someone who's like so dependable and so solid. But I really admire them. I absolutely do. Okay, now in your hopes and fears, this is cool. This is the Three of Peppermills, which would be the Three of Wands card in the Rider-Waite. And I love this version of this card. This is about finding a new way, finding your way, but like taking a bit of a different approach. See, we see Alice here, and she's just found another exit to from the castle that she's in. Like she's like pulled the curtain aside, and she's like, oh, hey, like maybe I could get out this way, So there's some creativity here. The 3 is also about creativity. It's like taking a different approach and making your mark on the world. Traditionally, this is the card of commerce. It's about sending ships to sea, making overseas connection, could be overseas travel as well, but that's unlikely right now. But you could be communicating with a lot of people overseas, on the internet. Your work could be reaching a lot of people. And it could be something super simple, like just like your Instagram, just a lot of people are seeing what you're doing and really connecting with you that way. And you're really making a name for yourself. This is in your psychology position, right? So it tells me that this is what you hope for. You're hoping to reach people. You're hoping to reach people in a new way. You may have felt a little bit boxed in somehow in the work that you were doing, and you just want to find an easier way, But I love it. I love it. It's almost like there's a sense of duty about the work that you're doing every day, but you have also this sense of creativity about you, and you want people to recognize your creativity as well, your creative side. It could be like a side project that you're doing that people are going to see and people are going to appreciate, and you just want to share another side of yourself with the world. I like it. In the outcome position, we have the Queen of Flamingos. I gotta say, as far as this deck is concerned, this is the best looking queen in the deck. She is the queen of no BS. Very strong boundaries. She will cut you if you cross her. Often known as the widow card, not necessarily, literally, but this could show you being single for a while, or, I can't help but think there's a breakup, there's an ending with some kind of lover or partner, or even just a friend. You may be reconsidering your friend groups, which, it sounds really sad, but the truth is we meet new friends at every new stage in our lives. So what seems like, the end of the world right now, a month from now or 3 months from now, you'll realize that it was for the best. But you may just be on your own for a while here. You are acting like a real independent thinker. You're thinking very logically. You're developing stronger boundaries. You've learned to see the red flags in people. Like, I get the sense you've been around the block a little bit and you're just not naive anymore. This queen is very smart, very sharp, very perceptive, and she knows what's coming. Like, if you've got some BS you're going to try to pull, like, she can smell you like a mile away, So it tells me that you're taking more authority in your life, and you're protecting your space, your mental space, your heart. You're not going to let anybody trample all over you, which is really cool. Also, just being in a queen position, it tells me it's almost like you're in more of a position of authority in your life, even just like personal authority, You also have 2 queens now in your reading. So traditionally that means rivalry in the tarot. I don't necessarily interpret it that way though, because I think that 2 queens could be friends. I'm not a woman hater. I'm all about, supporting each other and let's be friends and all that. But just keep that in mind. You could have a rival around you, or you could be about to make a new friend. You could be taking on the energy of the ambitious Queen of Peppermills and learning the skills and the boundaries and the protective instincts of the Queen of Flamingos. So take it how it resonates for you. I see you really taking control of your life, more so than you did in the past, and just really rising up and being the leader that you were meant to be. And it feels really positive. It feels really powerful, like very empowering is what I'm getting. Don't take any BS from anybody. Don't let any people knock you off track. The thing about bad lovers and relationships and things is, it's not so much what they do to you, it's how much mental energy they rob from you, You think about all the time you spend worrying about people and what they're getting up to, and why did they say this? It's like you could have spent that energy working on your business or your side project, or thinking about how you're going to get ahead at work, And I see you taking all that time and all that energy back and focusing it on yourself, which is great. I love it. I'd like to take an animal spirit oracle card for you just to end out this reading. I will show you the deck. This is the Kim Krantz Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. I love it. It's beautiful. It comes with this beautiful book here, and I will be using this book today. I'll just actually read what the author has said about the animal spirit that we pull. So I'm going to ask for an animal spirit guidance for my Taurus friends for September 2020. What animal spirit guidance do we have for my wonderful Taurus friends for September 2020? What messages do you have? Oh, here we go. Ooh, buffalo. Wow. Holding down the fort, are you? It's a very abundant card, very powerful. And I feel like this is so apropos. I'm going to put it right there so you can look at the beautiful buffalo while I find the write-up. There we go. Buffalo energy is grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. The hooves of the mighty buffalo are grounded in the earth, yet its heart and mind rise toward heaven. The buffalo sees challenge, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. Therefore, the buffalo does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Its gentle eyes look to the road ahead, trusting every turn. May we all experience this elusive yet life-changing bliss from time to time, and may we allow this card to remind us that life is a precious gift. When buffalo energy is in balance, it's trusting, it's pure presence. When it's out of balance, it's restless and lacks gratitude. To bring into balance, do a prayer or bhakti. Wow. If that isn't the most apropos thing based on this reading, I don't know what is. Well, Taurus, I hope you found this reading helpful, or at least in some way entertaining. I mean, if it didn't resonate with you, feel free to forget about it. It's just cards at the end of the day. But I wish you all the best, and I'd love to hear about it. If any of this resonated with you, let me know in the comments. Again, I want to thank you for stopping by and checking out my channel, and I hope to see you again really soon. Okay, take very good care and bless you all.